What's going on, you guys? Pep Platypus here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a first impressions video on the Cartoon Network series based on DC Comics, Young Justice. So far I have watched just 3 episodes, and I'm going to talk to you guys about them right now. And you know what the hell, I don't get to use it very often. Roll the cartoon intro. I'll just start off by saying DC, the animation department, has a very high standard. Their Batman animated movies are great. Their Superman Batman animated movies are great. And they just overall have a really high standard when it comes to their animation. Even with their shows. Like, I haven't gotten back into Justice League or Justice League Unlimited yet. I haven't really given them the time to like rewatch them. But I remember them being good. And I think Static Shock's really, really good. And Batman the Animated Series, of course. So they have a high standard, and I'm happy to say that Young Justice easily has the potential to be of that caliber because this was a very enjoyable, very well written, very tightly written, very action-packed, well animated, just overall great first 3 episodes. That's not to say I loved them or I don't have problems with them, I do, but overall they were a really fun experience and I can't wait to see more of the series. So I guess we'll just get into like the basic plot and like the theme of the series. The plot and the theme are basically the same thing. It's the superheroes are sick, or not the superheroes, the sidekicks are sick of the superheroes, making them eat at the kids' table, not taking them seriously, not letting them do what they want to do. So they decide to, well, they do decide to form their own little team and go on a mission, but then the Justice League themselves actually give them their own headquarters, and they're going to operate out of there doing like covert missions. So it's kind of like the Justice League is still dicking them around, but it's still kind of justified because the Justice League should know what they're talking about. They're veterans, but anyway, that's the basic premise, though. They have their team. I don't know how many missions they're going to go on. I don't know what the extent of the missions are going to be. They said they were going to be like covert, and that's about it. So yeah, but I think it's an interesting idea. It kind of reminds me of Teen Titans. Actually, I'm not sure why this isn't like a proper Teen Titans reboot, but it doesn't need to be, I guess, at all. Any fucking reboot would have been so much better than the Teen Titans reboot we actually got, though. But what the fuck ever. Not gonna go down that road. Oh god. Yeah, DC has a high caliber. They have a high standard. I'm not including that show. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I say Teen Titans reboot. Not ever including that show. So anyways. But yeah, that's the plot. Like I said, my issues with it. This isn't like going to be like a. This isn't going to be like a fucking full-on like review, but my thoughts on the basic premise and everything. I like it. I don't want them to hammer it in too much. They hammered it in the first 2 episodes, and they hammered it in the 3rd one as well. I get it. I get it. They want to be treated seriously. I get it. You don't need to push it too hard going forward. I hope they don't. But it's a minor gripe next to all the good, positive things that are going on here. The characters are likable. I guess I'll get into them a little bit. Kid Flash is basically Michelangelo. He's silly. He's the comedic relief. They kind of all crack jokes. Well, I can't say they all crack jokes, Superboy, but he's like the joke maker. And he's pretty fun. And then you've got Robin. He's Robin. He's kind of a cocky version of Robin. He's not a super serious one like the one from the original Teen Titans, but he's still, you know, he's fun. It's kind of interesting that Bruce Wayne won't let him reveal his identity. Like, he has to wear sunglasses even around his own teammates. I think at some point he'll probably take them off and trust them, but it's interesting. I think that's a cool little detail that you didn't need to put in there. So there's Robin, there's Kid Flash. There's Aqualad. He's cool. I like that he's different from Aquaman. He doesn't like look exactly like him, and he's got like these crazy water shape-shifting thing that he can do, and like lightning, I guess, or like electricity. So he was really cool and interesting and different. Then you've got, let's see, that's the main 3 that get introduced. Then you have the Martian Manhunter girl. She's kind of cool. She can't do quite all the abilities that Martian Manhunter can, and I don't know, Martian Manhunter looks like an alien, and she looks like a normal girl. I don't know what that's about, but I mean, she's green, but other than that, she looks like a normal girl. But she's kind of cute, I guess. She's kind of an air, not an airhead, but yeah, kind of. And she's a little socially awkward with humans, but she is what she is. But the main meat of what I want to talk about is Superboy. This motherfucker. I don't want to say Superman done right, because I know that Superman is supposed to be a godlike being that's really, really strong. Not the fucking, I'm going to pull galaxies, or I'm going to pull planets with a giant chain to a new galaxy Superman, or I'm going to sneeze and destroy a galaxy. Those things happened. Unless those comics I saw were fake, those things happened in the Silver Age. Yeah, planet or galaxy destroying Superman with a sneeze is bullshit, but Superman is supposed to be an overpowered character who's godlike, and you're supposed to aspire to be him. You're supposed to aspire to be better than you are. I get that. He's not relatable. But I like this kind of character more. I like a relatable character. I like that they gave him a good, angry voice actor. I like his dilemma of being a clone of Superman, so he wants to become his own person, but at the same time, I wouldn't say looks up to Superman, but he's definitely disappointed when he first meets the man face to face. And I love that interaction when they stare at each other, and it's all through facial expression. They don't really say a word to each other. That was really, really well done from an animation standpoint and from a storytelling standpoint. That was badass. And yeah, he doesn't have flight. He doesn't have fucking heat vision. So I like that he's not just this overpowered, broken character. The other characters can still play a part. Because when you have Superman, the Justice League is almost useless. I mean, really, if you think about it. Almost. Not quite. But I mean, Flash has super speed. So does Superman. I mean, Flash is probably faster, but still, it's just kind of like, bleh. So, yeah, I like that he's not ridiculously overpowered. I like that he has a good dilemma to his character. He's a little angsty, he's a little angry teenage guy-ish, kind of following that cliche, but I think it works, and I think he'll iron out as a pretty good character overall, because I do put a lot of faith in this series, because I do think it has a lot of potential to be great. So yeah, that's the characters. I like all of them. None of them are really annoying. The voice acting is all good. It's all good on all fronts for all of them, and the dialogue between them is good. So they have a nice camaraderie and chemistry. The only other characters to mention are Red Tornado and I believe Black Canary, because they're like the two that are chilling at the base with them. Some people might say, oh, that's kind of lame. They're putting like C-list characters in there instead of the top-tier guys. I think the top-tier guys would take away from the point of the show. I'm glad we see them at all. I think it's really cool that they are prominently shown in these episodes, the top-tier ones. Well, I mean, I guess they weren't prominently featured in the third episode, and maybe they won't be in future episodes, but I hope they are, because I definitely want to see more of those top-tier guys. But yeah, Red Tornado and Black Canary, I like that they're there, not only because they won't take away from the main characters, because, I mean, the main characters are, let's face it, they're carbon copies of their superhero counterparts, so I wouldn't want to see the superheroes too much, because that would completely take away from the fucking Young Justice characters. But getting to the point I was making, Red Tornado, Black Canary, don't know much about them. They're C-list, right? That's good. That's really good, because that's what Marvel did with Iron Man, and with Thor, and most recently with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. They took these C-list, Guardians of the Galaxy got, what, D, F-list? Like, my god, like, they're fucking, who knew what the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy was before that movie was announced? Like, seriously, besides comic book fans, or hardcore comic fans. Like, I'm just, be honest, I didn't know who the fuck they were. I knew who Rocket Raccoon was, because of Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's it. So, yeah. So, they bring in these, less known characters and give them spotlight and flesh them out, and I think they can do that with Red Tornado and Black Canary, so I think that's really cool. And that's the characters, and that's the basic plot and everything. So things I like about the series, like I said, it's really well animated. The fight choreography is good. I will say it is kind of adult-ish. It's not going to be, like, kids can definitely watch it, but there's a moment where this dude just turns into, like, this hulking beast. You can still see the flesh on him, like where he was human at first. Like, it's kind of just hanging around him. It looks kind of like cloth. It's not super detailed, but you see the hair, so you know this is his flesh. And then Kid Flash punches him, tears some of it off, and he's like, oh, I got your nose. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe they got away with that joke on Cartoon Network. Like I said, it's not gory or anything. I'm surprised they got away with that. I know Adventure Time could get kind of violent and cutting heads off and stuff, but it's always done very cartoony with no blood or like Black Blood or something, because he was like cutting ghosts' heads off and shit, like really early Adventure Time. So, you know, you can always get away with it if you just change the color or you just make it a ghost or something. So, I don't know, but that was like human flesh that he was holding in his hand. They didn't explicitly say it was that, but with the hair coming off of it, that's pretty much, you could tell that's what it was. So that was interesting. But I like that. I like that it has a little bit of teeth, it has a little bit of edge, and yeah, it's got a good sense of humor. I like that these guys aren't overpowered. They aren't stronger than their superhero counterparts. That helps justify that the superheroes have a point in saying, you guys aren't ready yet. You know, they address stuff like, oh yeah, the Flash can vibrate his molecules through walls. When Kid Flash tries to do it, bam, bloody nose. And that's really funny, but it also shows that they aren't on the level of their hero counterparts. And fucking dog is barking, whatever. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the series. It's just, it was an enjoyable first 3 episodes. I like the characters. I hope they don't hammer in the theme too much, but it's still a pretty good theme, because they're handling it well, and they're handling it in a good way. I guess the last thing to mention is Speedy, because there's really not much to say about him. He decided to bail out and not join the I don't know if they're called Young Justice, but he decided not to join the main cast. He's kind of a wild card character. Doubt he'll turn evil or anything, but still interesting that he's not with them, but he's still relevant to the story. I feel like it's going to have an episodic structure, but bring the plot back when it needs to, which is good. That's kind of what Cartoon Network's been doing with Steven Universe and Adventure Time and stuff. They're episodic, but they have their plot, they have their stories. I'd love to see them do that for a series from DC. That would be really, really cool, so I hope that's what they're going to do moving forward. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of Young Justice in the comment section below. And no spoilers, please. Also, you can follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm Pet Platypus on both. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Those will both help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.